Today's documentary, Whispers in the Concrete, the Unquiet Dead of Waverly Hills. The flashlight beam quivered in the pitch-black shaft. Paranormal investigator Keith Age from the Louisville Ghost Hunters Society was recording in the body chute when the temperature plunged. His breath fogged. Then, a whisper, inches from his ear. A child's voice. "Don't let them take me." He was alone. The body chute was empty. It had been for decades. This is not a ghost story. This is a crime scene. A crime against memory. Over 63,000 souls were left here, trapped within the Gothic bones of Waverly Hills. Louisville, Kentucky, 1910. A plague was devouring America. Tuberculosis, the White Death, consumed lungs with a wet, rattling finality. The city built a solution on a windswept hill. Waverly Hills Sanatorium, a monument of hope, with a roof of sunlit solariums and walls of brutalist concrete. But hope has a price. The treatments were medieval. Patients had ribs surgically removed to collapse a lung. They were injected with pressurized air until they screamed. They were strapped to outdoor porches in winter, the cold a brutal cure. The death rate was staggering. At the height of the epidemic, one patient died every hour. The staff, drowning in loss, built a discreet tunnel. The body chute, a 500-foot concrete passageway, hidden from the living, where the dead were wheeled on silent carts to waiting hearses below. The tunnel became a river of souls. Over 63,000 people flowed through its darkness between 1910 and 1961. The building absorbed every gasp, every whimper, every final sigh. Then, in 1961, it was abandoned. But the sounds never stopped. In the 1970s, urban explorers began to break the silence. They reported footsteps in empty wards, distant coughing in sealed rooms, lights flickering in a building with no power. But it was the police logs that gave the whispers weight. Louisville Metro police officers, called to the vacant property for vandalism, filed bizarre reports. Officer J. R. Flynn's 1982 statement reads, "Proceeded to 5th floor in response to call about a child crying. Thorough search revealed no persons. Upon exiting, heard distinct sound of a ball bouncing in hallway behind us. Turned. Nothing there." The phenomenon had a name now, Timmy, the ghost of a young boy, seen and heard by dozens of independent witnesses, forever playing with a leather ball on the solarium floor where children once fought for breath. But Timmy was just the beginning. The real horror was in the tunnel, the body chute. In 1996, a team from the Kentucky Society for Paranormal Research entered with infrared cameras. Lead investigator Chip Coffey, a skeptic turned believer, described the descent. The air got thick. It was hard to breathe. Not from dust, from pressure. Their audio recorder captured it. First, the metallic squeal of old cart wheels. Then a low moan. Then, clear as day, a woman's voice, weeping, "I can't breathe." The EVP, or electronic voice phenomenon, was analyzed. It contained vocal patterns impossible to fake. It was a moment of death, trapped in stone. Another recording, from 2001, caught a different plea. A male voice, weak, desperate, "Help me down." The team was on the 2nd floor. The voice came from the empty elevator shaft. Then came the nurses. Documented accounts from former staff, like Nurse Mary, who worked the night shift in the 1950s. She described room 502. A surgical nurse had hanged herself from the light fixture in the 1920s. Another nurse, decades later, leapt from the room's window to her death. Nurse Mary would hear crying from 502 when it was empty. She saw shadows moving behind the door's glass pane. One night, she felt icy fingers brush her neck in the medicine room. She quit the next day. Her testimony is backed by construction crews from the 2000s. Workers renovating room 502 refused to enter alone. They reported tools vanishing, cold spots that made their breath steam. One electrician, a burly man named Frank, claimed a force shoved him off his ladder. He found handprints on his back, small, child-sized handprints in gray dust. No child had been on site for 40 years. The phenomena escalated. It became intelligent, malignant. In 2008, a film crew for the show Ghost Hunters set up motion-activated cameras in the death tunnel. They left the building. The cameras remained. At 3:17 a.m., a camera triggered. The footage shows a dark, shapeless mass coalescing at the tunnel's end. It doesn't move like a person. It flows. It advances toward the lens for 10 seconds. Then the camera dies. The battery, fully charged, was drained to zero. The crew returned to a camera ice cold to the touch. The lead investigator, Brian Harnois, stated on record, "Something didn't want to be recorded. Something knew we were there." This intelligence manifests in cruelty. Paranormal researcher Amy Kramer investigated the fourth floor, a former surgical ward. Her digital recorder captured a clear, snarling voice. "Get out." Later, reviewing photographs, she found a face. A gaunt, angry face peering from a doorway she knew was empty. The face matched no historical patient photo on record. It was an unknown, a presence that defied identification. Another team, in 2012, conducted an experiment. They laid out children's toys in a fifth-floor room. They set up a laser grid. Any break in the grid would trigger an alarm. They waited in silence. At 2:04 a.m., the alarm sounded. The laser grid was broken. On the thermal camera, a cold spot moved across the room. It stopped at the toys. A small, leather ball, untouched by human hands, rolled slowly into the center of the floor. Then the EMF spiked. The digital thermometer recorded a 30-degree drop in 5 seconds. The sound equipment picked up laughter. High-pitched, childlike laughter. The team fled. They left the equipment running. It recorded one final sound, the distinct, heavy thud of a body hitting the floor. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please subscribe to our channel. We bring you fascinating documentaries on history, science, civilizations, mysteries, and the untold stories that shaped our world. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a new release. See you in the next one.